Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books presents What About the Children? 5 Values for Multiracial Families by Nicole Doyley. Foreword by Tasha June. Narrated by Diana Blue. Foreword. When I was a kid, I used to dream of chestnut-colored hair. Growing up in Tokyo, I distinctly remember standing down below the bustle of the city, looking through the crowds at the subway station. I would gaze from head to head. It was a personal game, or a whisper I didn't dare say loud enough to hear. Was there anyone here with chestnut-brown hair? My own hair was black as night until I started dyeing it in college, and then it later began to gray with age. My skin was light brown, and my eyes were light brown too. My dad used to say, "Did you know your eyes were green when you were a baby?" I would always respond the same way. "Green like yours?" My mom's eyes are raven black, so dark you couldn't distinguish between pupil and her midnight iris. I was glad my eyes seemed to be right in the middle, a blend of both of them. In my reflection, I saw a dual connection, and it made me feel like home. I wished my hair did the same thing, and would pray it to be so that I didn't have as much explaining to do for my existence. My existence. A mixed-race girl. It was never considered normal, only wrong or too special to be understood. In Korea, my mixed existence was responded to with teenage spit and words I won't repeat here. In Midwestern high schools, strangers responded with questions, assumptions, and oppressive curiosity. As an adult, I learned about history I wasn't taught in school. There were laws in our nation that sought to prevent mixed-race people from existing. Learning about anti-miscegenation laws was sobering, and it also helped me understand why I had always felt such resistance, subtle or outright, to living a life of embrace for my whole story. My parents, a Korean immigrant mother and a Californian white father, loved me whole, and my experience at home was one that affirmed our reality. What we were was normal. It wasn't until after I went out into the world and began to face the reality of our American history, world history, biases, and worldview of others around me that I began to reckon with the question, who am I? I've spent years since then answering, unpacking, processing, and rejecting those questions. What I needed all those years ago, and what my family needed, beyond, "I love you just the way you are," was the ability to name our reality and see how history impacted our reality in the world. These days, I am a mother to mixed-race kids, and aware that this group of people is the fastest-growing group in our nation. More than ever before, our American families and faith communities need language, stories, and those who can guide them in understanding and embracing mixed-race identities. We don't just need one story about our experiences. We need many for our growing demographic, just like the many colorful stories that most of us embody. Nicole's book does just that, and Nicole is a wise expert and guide for any family who has a member who is mixed. Reading the stories, data, and helpful tips she's compiled are a breath of fresh air. Her compassion and honesty are what we need as we consider the generations to come, and what it will mean to serve, see, and love them well. We are not a little bit of this and that. We are whole humans. We are no longer a mere side note to the American experience. We are the future face of our nation. Tasha June, author of Tell Me the Dream Again, Reflections on Family, Ethnicity, and the Sacred Work of Belonging. Introduction. I am a biracial Christian woman, all weighty descriptors. I am glad to be a woman, and I am glad to be a Christian. My faith has always brought me joy, stability, and peace. I don't always understand God, but He has anchored my soul like no one else could.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?